Hey guys, so I wanted to whip up a quick video to show some of the games that I recouped from my collection back in the hometown, back in Florida. So without further ado, let's check out which were the chosen ones on this trip. To start off, a single Switch game, because the vast majority of them I had already brought with me in a single swoop. We have Axiom Verge, the Multiverse Edition. I think this is one of the few editions that came out of this game on the Switch. Infamously developed by a single dude, Thomas Happ. He composed the music, made the art, programmed the game and all that good stuff. That's pretty neat. Now, the only weird thing is the packaging is horrendous. It comes with this outer slip. This is exactly how it came. And the slip doesn't do anything special. It just kind of loops around the bottom, so it makes it a pain in the butt to take care of. In mint condition, this one's already a little beat up, but it includes a whole bunch of stuff. A very interesting Metroidvania in like an 8-bit style. I haven't really delved too deep into this one, but I'm looking forward to doing that at some point. A couple DS games that I had forgotten to bring last time I visited. We have Advanced Wars Dual Strike. Turn-based strategy game here. Very well-known franchise at this point. It utilized both screens on the DS, which was pretty cool because you had your aerial combat on the top and the ground war happening on the bottom touch screen. So that was pretty cool. And it looks like I stashed both Advance Wars games together in a box, which is why I forgot them. But here we have Days of Ruin. This one took a lot more gritty approach to the otherwise very cartoony series. They tried making it a little bit more mature, a little bit more dark with some drab color palettes that really, I think, played against the advantages that it had with the cartoony graphics, right? Very endearing soldiers and killing each other on the battlefield. Now things got serious with this entry. Look at very, very serious man here. But yeah, didn't really give this game a go too much. At some point I probably will. Pretty cool stuff. So I think that I have now completed all my DS collection is finally reunited. Let's do some GameCube games. We'll start off with Soul Calibur 2 on the GameCube featuring Link. A fantastic 3D fighting game. Had lots of fun with this one. My brother had a PlayStation 2, so he had Heihachi Mishima. And I had Link. No one had an Xbox at the time for Spawn, which is a really cool character to have in this sort of game. But something about wanting to unlock the three kind of generic characters in this game allured me, and thus I brought it with me so that I could do just that. Need for Speed Underground, a classic racing game with a kick-ass soundtrack, at least back in 2003. Yeah, this is just an awesome racing game, to be honest. One of the best Need for Speeds, in my opinion. The second one didn't quite match the awesomeness of this one. Actually looking forward to starting a new career and playing this one through again. That's why I brought it. Sterifax Temperatures. A bit of a black sheep in the Star Fox series, right? When this game made its debut on the GameCube, a lot of people were expecting space battles and R-Wings and stuff like that. And this is the infamous Dino Planet, I think. And then they just slapped on a Nintendo mascot in hopes that it would sell. And the main reason why I brought this one is when I played this game, I got it for my birthday at some point in 2002. I played the crap out of this game. And Spike, the little dinosaur mascot that you could play fetch with, I played fetch with that dude for hours. And the thing was, like, he would change colors the more you would play with him. So that was interesting. But I got stuck on this on rails shooting part of the game that I think my former self couldn't complete, but I'm willing to tackle that challenge and finally bury the hatchet in good old Fox McCloud here. Very, very cool. I brought with me Resident Evil Zero. Yeah, survival horror games are terrifying to me. And this game still has the pre-rendered backgrounds and all the zombies and stuff to be scared of. So I brought this one with me. Never really played more than 10 minutes of this game, so now it's here, and I have it on my sights. Ooh, then we got Resident Evil, the remake of the original, right? I think some may call it Biohazard. Very iconic title, pardon the glare, game cover here, with Jill getting attacked by the first zombie she encounters in the mansion. This game, to this day, holds quite well graphically. It looks amazing. It looks really good, which means it's also really terrifying because those Crimson Head zombies, the New Game Plus zombie, which has like C4 strapped to its chest, no thanks. But I want to check this game out again, maybe around Halloween time. Poop my pants with some scary zombies. I remember trying to convince my dad to buy me this game, rated M, back when I was a wee child, and he wouldn't budge. He wouldn't budge. So at some point, I bought it secondhand, years later, and here it is. Might need some cleaning there. It's got some zombie juice on it. Let's move on to some Wii games. Mad World, published by Sega and developed by Platinum Games, actually. A very stylish black and white, like action, gory game. The only splashes of color are blood splatters, which are in abundance in this game. Extremely violent game for the Wii library, and it's pretty awesome, actually. My brother just picked up a copy of this since he's collecting for the Wii now, and we had to pop it in to try out his copy, and it just really opened my eyes again to how awesome this game was and how I need to play it more. This game I've probably only play tested, but it might make its way onto the streams now because very, very cool stuff here. Very Platinum Games-esque. Bit Trip Complete. This is a collection of like 8-bit games. Let's open it up here. It has a nice little soundtrack and the game right there. My favorite one of the bunch here, it has 6 complete games apparently, would be Bit Trip Runner. It's kind of just it's like a running, side-scrolling running obstacle course in which you have to time your jumps and duck and dodge obstacles along with the beat of the song, and it's actually pretty addicting. I haven't actually checked out, I think, the rest of the games in this collection, but it says it's Wii Zapper compatible, so there's some zany stuff when they start throwing around those plastic peripherals. An Axis game, I just noticed. Cool, cool game to have in the collection. Nice little cover there with the double disc. Lost in Shadow, a platforming game in which your main focus is looking at the shadows of things, right? So I haven't actually played this one myself, but It's mentioned in every like hidden gems video for the Wii. I figured this one might be a really cool one to stream for some platforming goodness there. So yeah, I wanted to take with me some peculiar games for my collection, and I can almost see the light at the end of the tunnel for recouping my entire collection. I still have a whole bunch of PS4 games and other Wii games and GameCube, just a whole bunch of stuff still, but I'm starting to bring back some substantial titles in my opinion. Then we got Wario Land Shake It. Just look at this cover. Look how cool this Wario adventure looks. And this is what the actual game looks like. This is the art. They're like hand-drawn sprites, I guess you could call it. But look at even the disc looks very nice with the color combination there. Side-scrolling adventure game in which I think Wario is invincible again, right? I think in many of Wario's games, he never dies. I think you can only fail by falling off the stage or something. But a different Wario game than your usual like micro games, like the Wario games. This is more so an adventure game, and I'm a huge fan of Wario World on the GameCube, which I brought back with me last time I visited my parents' house. So here's another one. Ooh, Metal Slug Anthology. Very, very fond memories of this one back in Christmas Day of 2006. This anthology includes Metal Slug 1 through 6 and X, which is like the arcade version of 2 or 3 or something. I don't know. Available for the first time, as you can see here, Metal Slug 6, so that was a big deal. Probably the weakest of the bunch, to be honest. My favorite being X or 3, with some cool, like, zombie stuff going on here, but what a collection. My brother and I played through, I think, all 6 titles in the matter of, like, 2 days. The cool thing about this game is it gives you unlimited continues, so you can just enjoy the amazing artwork and action of these arcade classics. Probably some of the best sprite work out there in video games. Metal Slug is just such a fun run and gun that you can enjoy with a friend or what have you for some 2-player stuff. The only weird Wii waggle in this version of the game in particular is in order to throw grenades, you gotta move the Wiimote, which you're holding horizontally. So it's a little bit awkward, but if you really want to chuck those grenades, you're basically playing with a shake weight, right? But an amazing collection of games, and I will for sure be streaming some. The Godfather, the Black Hand Edition on the Wii. Ask me why I brought this game with me. Well, also lots of fond memories of playing this game wire to wire when I was a wee lad. Anytime I beat a game, I consider it a pretty monumental achievement, given that I just have so many different titles to play, and it's hard to, like, focus on a handful of titles without just moving on to newer and shinier titles. So when I beat a game, it really captures me, and this was one of them. Kind of like I think the appeal here for this game when I was small was it was somewhat like a open world sandbox Grand Theft Auto game that takes place during the 50s, right? With mafia and all that good stuff. A really, really fun game. And I'm thinking about doing a full playthrough on the streams for this one. So really cool stuff. I recommend this game if you have a Wii. The last Wii game I have here is Factory Sealed Sin and Punishment, Star Successor. I remember particularly going back to a Walmart kind of in the middle of nowhere because I had seen this between other games. And this was one of the only Wii games remaining. This is back when I think the Wii U was pretty much hitting its stride. I mean, if it ever had one. There's still like a Wii title amongst others. And, you know, that's kind of something that you would see in the middle of a nowhere Walmart. And the cover looked so cool that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna head back and I'm gonna grab a copy. So this is part 2 of Sin and Punishment that had originally come out on the N64. Obviously, here Star Successor, a very cool on rails shooter that you could probably knock out in a sitting, a long sitting. So expect to have the seal broken as much as it pains me, because it's a tight seal. It's very tight. It's very, very nice. Looks great sealed, but I'm gonna have to tear this bad boy open because games are meant to be played, and I'm gonna stream it so I can kill this guy. Let's do some Wii U games. Rayman Legends. Oh man, this game is phenomenal. It is such a good platformer, a 2D platformer. Rayman Origins, shout out to Rayman Origins on the Wii, which is still in the homeland, but that game is also great. This game just is even better. Very silly, cool use of the gamepad here. If you're playing on the Wii U, you're like you can be Murphy, which is apparently some sort of frog that helps out. I can't remember specifically what he does, but you can party up with friends and family and really have a blast playing this game with the different characters. You have Rayman, you have this chick with the axe, there's that blue guy, and they all kind of control differently. There's some rhythm stages in this game which are hilarious, and the music is just so fitting for this franchise, which I don't have too much experience with. This is probably the most exposure I've gotten to Rayman because it captivated me. This is a really good game, and I'll be popping it on the streams too. This is really, really cool stuff. Pokken Tournament. This is a weird title. I got it back in the day when I wasn't as much as a pokey freak. Nowadays, I've kind of regressed. No offense, but I got it just because it was a Pokemon fighting game, like one-on-one, like Tekken style. Is that what they call it? Pokken. And it was just extremely underwhelming with its cast. You pretty much see everyone included in the game there. I guess I'll keep an eye out for the Switch version, which came out with the DLC baked onto it and some extra characters. I think that's worth a shot since I have the inferior version here, but maybe I can have some fun playing this one too, even though I doubt it. The main reason why I brought this one back is because included is this Shadow Mewtwo card. And you know, me and my Pokemon cards nowadays, we tend to hang out quite a bit. So look at that, still sealed. It's an amiibo card, so you can scan it on your gamepad and you have access to play as Shadow Mewtwo, which is this weird, like, flame-broiled Mewtwo with even crazier powers or something. But yeah, I just had to get the card. If I didn't have it sealed, I would top load this bad boy but since it will remain in its packaging, there it is, living inside the case.
NES Remix Pack.
Good, fun speedrunning game. Bite-sized bits, little chunks of old school games with challenges very similar to the newly released World Championships NES edition here. Just a little bit less robust in its online connectivity offerings. Yeah, I don't know if the Wii U servers are still up and all that good stuff. But man, I was hooked on this game. This is one of those games that got me into playing stuff over and over again. I used to be the type of gamer that I would just like beat something and I would just move forward with my life. But now I'm kind of fixated on topping high scores and all this stuff. Really, really fun. You have this is the pack, so I think it includes like part 1 and 2 or something. There's a 3DS version, which has maybe different challenges, but here's I think the better version overall. There's a good reason why it's a little bit better. So had to bring this one back too. One last Wii U game. We have DuckTales Remastered, published by Capcom. I remember this game being sought after and pretty rare because they delisted this title from like online storefronts, and it was around the time that like Disney was doing weird stuff with their IPs and kind of securing Marvel and all that good stuff. So people went into some sort of frenzy and they were buying up this game, and I remember checking a GameStop inventory. They said they had a copy. Don't believe this game ever came with a manual. If it did, I'm going to have some sleepless nights. But I think this is it. This is the complete version and a fun just remaster of a retro side-scrolling platformers. Cool stuff here. Let's do some PS2 games. The original Time Splitters, developed by Free Radical and published by Eidos, companies which were extinct now. We have an awesome first-person shooter from back in the year 2000. Lots of memories playing this with my brother and like the map editor and just having fun. And it's just an awesome first-person shooter, which gave birth to 2 sequels. And here's the original, a very terrifying mansion level in the campaign mode that I'm trying to unlock in time for Halloween. It's genuinely terrifying. The challenge is to unlock all the characters. You probably need to be some sort of crazy to try and do that. If you unlocked all the characters in this game, I would consider that like a top tier gaming achievement because it's no joke. Good stuff here. Time Splitters, a classic. I only brought back with me one more PS2 game, and this one's a must-have. Here we got Rumble Roses. Oh yeah. It's all ladies fighting in a ring. Or sometimes in the mud. Yeah, just like a weird wrestling game with just chicks. I mean, I can't think of a reason why not to bring this game with me on this trip, so here it is. Oh, and by the way, like, this game is decent. It doesn't play like crap. It's pretty serviceable for a wrestling game. So don't sleep on Rumble Roses. Let's move on to some PS3 games. We'll kind of blaze through these. I brought back with me the MotorStorm trilogy. So here you have part 1. This was, I think, part of a bundle. It's kind of messed up here. Holy crap, this game was so much fun. I remember beating all the events in it, and kind of like the tracks get deformed over time because it's all like, big rigs and motorbikes and stuff that slosh around the mud, and like the tires create divots in the mud, which you could use to your advantage, or they could completely throw you off too. So that's pretty cool technology for back when the PS3 first released. I remember this was the graphical showcase and kind of the technical display of what the PS3 could do. Yeah, we have a not for resale. I definitely need to clean this case. It's nasty. Then we have MotorStorm Pacific Rift. And this game, I dare say, is even better than this one, which took place in kind of like a more desert environment. This one is in like a lush jungle with active volcanoes. So there's like magma flows and, water and stuff. This game is phenomenal too. I highly recommend it. This entire series is pretty sweet, and I hate to say it, but I'm still looking for. I think it's Arctic something, but that one came out on the PSP originally, and then it got ported over to the PS2. So it's really one of the first MotorStorm games ever? Question mark. And then to complete the PlayStation 3 trilogy, at least, we got MotorStorm Apocalypse. The game which I have the least amount of experience with, but as the name implies, you're racing around like a decaying urban jungle with real-time events such as earthquakes and stuff happening during the race, which transform the tracks. Right, so every lap kind of feels different because maybe an overpass that you used is now collapsed and, that sort of thing. We have the edgy, shirtless, bionic man riding the motorcycle, so you know what sort of attitude this game has, and all three of them, really. It's like this festival atmosphere where people are just willing to put their lives on the risk to ride motorcycles and fast cars. Amazing set of games, honestly. MotorStorm is sweet. 2 more PlayStation 3 games. We got Alien Isolation, the Nostromo Edition. I don't know what that means. I could have sworn I had this game on the PlayStation 4. I'm going to have to check the boxes back home, but I don't think I do. Maybe if I see it, I'll snag myself a copy just for performance purposes, but here we have the infamous survival horror alien game in which you're, I think, just hiding and running away from a single xenomorph. And I heard this game is genuinely terrifying, so maybe a cool Halloween stream here, unless my PlayStation 3 explodes. One last PS3 game, we got Dragon's Crown, an Atlas game, a Vanillaware game, if I'm not mistaken. Just a side-scrolling up to 4 players at a time, kind of like a beat 'em up, slash 'em up, with bandits and mages and very suggestive themes. There's some partial nudity, right? Vanillaware. Yeah, the art style is really cool, and I need to get into this game a little bit more. Seems like a lot of fun. I passed on attaining a very cool, like textured and etched Steelbook edition of Dragon's Crown, which may have had some extra content on it or something. So here's just the basic edition. Now for the PS4 games, Metal Wolf Chaos XD, published by Devolver Digital, so it's kind of zany. Now, if I'm not mistaken, in this game you take control of a mech, which is piloted by the President of the United States of America. So if you're dealing with that sort of plot line, you can only imagine what the action's like. We have it factory sealed here for now. I want to play it on the streams. It's a From Software game. Wow, just noticed that. But this game was an Xbox exclusive for a long time, and a game that became highly sought after. And just randomly, they published it on the PS4 years later, so I hopped on that one, and here it is. Maybe it sucks. Just real quick, my No Man's Sky version was disc only, and I had the case, but I was trying to pack as many games with me when I first moved up here, so I left some cases behind. And this is a game that I play often enough that it deserves its case back, and just like really, really cool art. Always like this. Love this game. Love playing in virtual reality. This is the launch edition, really, which came out 2016 with all those false promises. And now Hello Games has the greatest redemption arc in game developer history, maybe. You know, tons of free content. Awesome game, right up my alley. Oh boy, don't roast me. You know, I recouped the game case for Overwatch as well. This is the game which I lost like 4 years of my gaming life to. I played Overwatch almost exclusively for that amount of time. Still the greatest Diva player on the face of the planet. Ask me anything. Just, you know, here it is, Overwatch. Rest in peace. Whatever remains of this game. I know it still has a fan base, but it seems like the internet's consensus is that this game is just not what it used to be, and I've witnessed it personally too. But I'm not gonna bore you guys with an Overwatch complaint tale here. Just it's complete in box now. Near Automata. Near Automata. How do you... I don't know. Some sort of post-apocalyptic slash 'em up. You know, I can't stop hearing praise about this game years after its release. Like this game is old news. We have the PlayStation 4 version here. The main reason why I brought this is a lot of people drew similarities between this game and Stellar Blade. I'm not sure if they have any sort of developmental relationship, you know, things in common, but you know, this people love this game. And if it's similar to Stellar Blade, I love Stellar Blade, so this is going to be perfect. What I do know is that the music studio that composed the music for Stellar Blade, they're the same ones that made the music for this game. And that alone intrigued me enough that I was like, all right, I'm bringing this game back with me this time. Last PlayStation 4 game is another one of those that I wanted to make complete. And holy cow, this is probably my favorite game cover ever. I don't know. We got the lenticular cover for the Surge 2. Focus Home and Interactive, which is now just Focus. They changed their name. An awesome publisher of awesome games. This is a Souls-like in some sort of cybernetic future with androids and stuff, but very, very heavily inspired by the Souls formula. If you're looking to scratch that Elden Ring itch, and you've just pretty much ran through all the games out there, and you haven't checked out the Surge 2, because this one's very much refined over the first entry, which isn't as good. Get this game. This game is awesome. I got stuck at some point at some boss, but grinding and leveling up your character, tons of fun. The camera isn't doing it justice, but there is so much dimension. It looks like there's a dude inside the case. I love me a good lenticular cover. I had to get this game complete because just look how awesome it is. Comes with some stuff. Awesome game. Check it out.
And now, I will show you 99% of my complete in box Game Boy Advance collection, which was hanging out in Florida all these years.
In no particular order, Metroid Zero Mission. Actually, this one isn't so much part of my childhood collection because I bought this game years after I was, collecting for the Game Boy Advance. Ostensibly collecting, right? Because this is when I seriously got into collecting. I had to scoop this game up, and phenomenal, awesome 2D Metroid game. This is available on the Nintendo Switch Online and through all sorts of different things, but here it is complete in box. There's just something about these Game Boy Advance boxes that makes me very happy. Metroid Fusion. This one actually came out before that one. I remember being sick in grade school, and I was like, hey, Mom, like, I need to stay home. Like, I'm super sick. And I'm pretty sure I played through the entire game and on that day that I stayed home from school, and I had such a blast. This is another amazing 2D Metroid. You know, if the daddy is Super Metroid, Fusion and Zero Mission are right there, right next to the daddy, because they're so good. You know, they deserve all the praise they get. Pretty creepy too with the SAX in this game. A must-have. Dodgeball Advance, Super Dodgeball Advance, published by Atlas. Woo! This game is a doozy. Had tons of fun playing this game and cooperating with my brother to unlock all the stuff. Part of the reason why I wanted to get my Game Boy Advance games back up here is so that I could upload all their data onto my Retron 5 and basically have backup data for all the stuff, all the childhood data that I had put in these games. And all the games so far that I've tested, the internal batteries have not died. So the data is still in these cards, except for this one. Except for this one. This was the only one that I guess the battery died. And that was kind of sad because I remember, you know, going through the entire career mode and playing some bonus stuff to unlock all the different teams. So that'll be a little endeavor for me to have fun with at some point, because this is a really cool game. You know, back when this game released, I had no knowledge that Super Dodgeball was a whole franchise. There's so many different dodgeball games. There's some on the DS, on the NES, I think. And this one's awesome for the Game Boy Advance. I highly recommend this one. Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. Yeah, because Final Fantasy Tactics on the PS1 is amazing. This one is pretty good. Pretty good. It's not like earth-shattering. I don't think there's a weird like arbitration system in this game in which there's like a judge that's always on the field and he kind of just arbitrarily enacts restrictions, like you can't use fire or you can't use magic on this in this mission, stuff like that. But cool, you know. I wanted a portable Final Fantasy, and here it is. The one of my gripes as a kid was you can't pan the camera around, you can't rotate the levels, the battlefields like you could in Tactics, and that was one of my favorite things to see and do in the PlayStation 1 version. But very serviceable Tactics game here on the go. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. This game is getting remastered on the Switch, right? Right, they're doing it. Hilarious RPG, like a very much in the same vein as Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. This is so good. Such a good traditional like Mario RPG experience and hilarious. Just I already said that. Very funny. Humorous game, awesome art. Haven't beaten this game. I think I need to check to see if my data still exists in this one as well. I think it does. Pokemon Leaf Green. We got the player's choice version, apparently. A shiny box. Shiny box. You can't really tell because it's in the sleeve. But here we have the copy of Leaf Green, which my dad purchased for me in the Nintendo World Store in New York years ago. I asked the guy, hey, how can I catch every single Pokemon? And he's like, oh, you need to get Leaf Green and you need to get Pokemon Diamond. So I did. And this game has the boxes full of just trash Pokemon because I've already transferred all the daddies from this game to, I think, Diamond, actually. So I might start like a new save file or something. But it's a chunky box. I think it has a map in there. Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Oh man, I remember getting this game for Christmas and just kind of regretting it because it's so hard. This game is so hard, infamously hard franchise here, right? Super Ghouls and Ghosts. You know, having played some Mega Man X kind of sort of recently, which I need to get back into, I got inspired to just try my mettle at this game. No matter how many tries it takes for me to just get past the first level. I want to get good at this game. I want to get good. Contra Advance, the Alien War EX. This is a game I will not be getting good at. A super hard game. Is this Super C? Is this Contra? Super Contra? Which one is it? Now made portable. Ooh, man, looking at the back screenshots here gives me some memories. If I were to ever make it this far in the game, I remember that robot with the train and stuff. Just super hard, traditional Contra experience here. Got this for Christmas as well. The same one as Super Ghouls and Ghosts. So I had a very, very difficult gaming experience on that December 25th years ago. Mario vs. Donkey Kong. Shout out to my uncle, which purchased this game for me somewhere in South America. I remember that day. This game recently got re-released on the Switch, but even back in the day, during the advanced days, man, the graphics are like digitized or something. They look really, really good. I haven't popped it in yet to play it again and kind of see what the graphics look like nowadays, but really fun 2D platforming puzzler game. Monkey. Ooh, some more Advance Wars. Yes, this game came out in 2001, I think. Yes. The first Advance Wars game. Turn-based, grid-based strategy game. I had a ton of fun with this game, but it was very hard. Never got to beat it. This is the one that spurred all the sequels. Then we have Advance Wars 2, Black Hole Rising. I also remember convincing my parents to take me to Kmart to buy me this game that I had seen some days ago, and they were just hanging out on a lazy Sunday, and they were like, "Of course, yeah, let's go buy you a game." And I remember just being so happy at how easily I convinced them to, like, "Hey, can you buy me a video game? I saw this one." So more of the same here. They added some new mechanics. They added some the giant tank things. Forgot what they're called, like Neo tanks. There's some like new terrain things to navigate around, and I had a lot of fun with this one too, but never beat it just because these games are hard. I got to revisit these strategy games now that my brain works a little bit better than when I was a kid. Golden Sun. Yeah, I think this was part of that Christmas too. I had a Christmas in which like I only asked for Game Boy Advance games. And you have a traditional, now cult classic JRPG style game with some cool music, cool graphics. You know Golden Sun, right? Here it is. I recently got part 2, relatively recently, so... and then there's Dark Dawn or something on the DS. So I got the trilogy, guys. I got it. We're good. Yes. Game & Watch Gallery 4. 6 games in one. Holy crap. Every time I would see that as a kid, I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm set.
I don't need another video game ever again because this one has 6.
Yeah, this was part of that fateful Christmas, I think. Yeah, I remember being at Toys R Us and pissing my dad off because he had pretty much already bought me my Christmas gifts. And I was like, come on, just one more. And he barely got this one for me. You got the modern and classic versions of these like quick mini games, like Game and Watch, the handhelds. They just I don't know, they remastered the Game and Watch games and put them out on different iterations. I think you can find some of these on the Game Boy Color. I'm not sure how many galleries there are, but here's part 4. Barely played this game really. Mario Tennis Power Tour, another one of these games that I didn't really have as a kid, more so collected a little bit later. Very cool tennis game here. It has like a full-fledged story mode in which there are some RPG mechanics and you level up your generic characters here, and the whole Mario Tennis thing on a portable system. This one's good. I recommend this one. Yet another relatively newish pickup or addition to the Game Boy Advance collection. This one's still factory sealed. We got Rebel Star Tactical Command, another turn-based strategy game. I heard somewhere that if you keep these games factory sealed in their cellophane, and I'm starting to see it now a little bit, the air seeps out of that cellophane eventually, and it starts crushing the box. Like the cellophane itself starts shrinking, and it starts damaging the box. I think you see a little of those signs up here where so I'm gonna have to tear this bad boy open on a stream or something. But my brother has some experience playing this little kind of like XCOM like game, and he said it's tough as nails, so he stopped playing it, which makes me want to just kind of watch it implode on itself, but not really. I must remedy that ASAP. Super Mario Advance. This is the port of Super Mario Bros. 2 with some added sound effects, some like remastered graphics, I guess. The other iterations of this game, Super Mario Advance 2, 3, and 4, I actually had to leave at home. They wouldn't fit in the box with the rest of the games. And the reason why I didn't choose those is because, these are technically the inferior versions of themselves. Given that the Game Boy Advance screen was smaller than a TV, obviously, they had to make some sacrifices with the aspect ratios and stuff. Something like that. I don't know. Something technical. So you can't really see the top of the screen. It has to scroll, so you got to jump. So you don't have the full picture. So, I was like, if I'm going to sacrifice some games to leave on this trip, then I'll just sacrifice those games, which I pretty much have available on their original consoles anyways. So this is a classic, though. This is the first one that I got. And I always thought this was a new Mario game, a completely new release, just because I didn't know my video game stuff too much back then, and I was thinking, this is pretty different than other Mario games. You're plucking turnips, throwing enemies and stuff, but it's just a take on the classic Doki Doki Panic, right? And last but definitely not least, I think this is my all-time favorite Game Boy Advance game, my very first Game Boy Advance game. We got Mario Kart Super Circuit. The memory of my parents and I hanging out at a Walmart that was long ways from home. I remember I wanted the Game Boy Advance for my birthday, and this is the game that I wanted on it. And they bought it for me, and I was thinking, all right, this is for my birthday. And no, my dad just gave it to me. He's like, here, have fun. It was like a week or two until my birthday. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I broke down crying. I was so excited to play the game. As you can tell, I've loved video games for a very long time. It was an emotional moment, and I had so much fun. So much fun with Mario Kart Super Circuit. Holy cow. I think this is the reason why I love Super Mario Kart. Or just Mario Kart. Luckily, the game data and this one stayed intact, and I uploaded it to my Retron 5 permanently, hopefully, right, forever. Because unlocking those extra tracks was a nightmare. It was a gaming feat as a small child to get all those extra tracks, but everything is intact here. All right, guys, another video in the books. I'm super excited to have brought back with me so many games from the homeland that I will now be able to reintegrate into my current collection up here. I'll be able to stream all these games and just, you know, mention them as games of the night going forward. So let me know what you think about this latest batch of chosen ones. Which one's your favorite? Did I leave out some that I could have brought with me potentially? Let me know. I'll catch you guys soon for a pickups video and more video games. Okay, bye.